Hello everybody, Chile Life channel and me, Irene Lentiggini, we are greeting you. Every day it's a new way, it's a new possibility in life. And today I have a great possibility to speak to a fantastic person, to an incredible man who is very well known all over the world, not just because of his noble, aristocratic, strong Italian roots, but because of his extraordinary, very specific and very unique art. Welcome, Lorenzo de Medici.
Yeah. So actually, we just have to start with hello. Buongiorno, principe.
Buongiorno, maga.
Parliamo italiano, inglese?
English. I think English is better for you.
Yes, because you're a very, very international figure. That's why we're gonna speak English, but you have very strong Italian roots. First of all, Lorenzo, thank you so much that you find time, because I know that you're very tough with the saddle. You have your family, you have your art, you have a lot of things like charity doing all over the world. So it's an honor for me to speak to you and to get this window in your shadow.
It's a pleasure to speak with somebody who is trying to make a better world during this difficult period. So we need people that smile and that are positive as me and you.
Thank you so much, Lorenzo. So coming back to your roots, because Lorenzo de Medici, it's actually something that doesn't need any explanation. Tell me, please, the story of your family. It's very noble. It goes deep inside the Renaissance time, and it's really powerful from the history. Tell me more about the influence, actually, of your family for nowadays and during the ages.
The Medici family was always a visionary family that was much forward than anyone else, and than from their period. I think they were always looking 200 years forward, and that was starting since the year 1000. The Medici family created innovation in many sectors, from the banking sector, where they had the largest bank in the Renaissance time, to food industry, to medicine industry, hospital industry, and so on, with the help of great minds as Michelangelo, Leonardo da Vinci, Galileo Galilei. So all the biggest mind was all hired by the Medici family to innovate and making a simple life, because the Medici for the first time think that it's important to put the man at the center of the attention. So the philosophy is we all are human beings with our own characteristic, and the world is beautiful because we are all different, but each one of us need to be respected for their own personality. So this was the first time that in the society we were talking about being a human being and be respected. And so that's what the Renaissance was, and that's what the philosophy of my family, that we try to bring it still today, from the art, the tourism, the politics, the investment, environmental protection, and many other things that my family is involved in today.
How actually the activity of your family and the biggest values of your family did influence you and you nowadays art?
For sure, my family influenced me so much, as you can see in a little bit on the video here. I have more than 90 ancestors of mine that surround my office all the time, and they tell me how big they were. And so I can't be a normal person having such a family behind me. And at the same time, the art that I'm using is to bring back and thanks them for what they have achieved in every sector.
As I know, actually, your ancestors are part of your muse, because on your pictures, a few years ago, you started to do painters exactly with their figures as with their images. So, like Lorenzo Magnifico, like Caterina, what is your closest? What is the most important for you? How did these things influence you, actually?
I was able, through my art, to touch. I had more than 72 international exhibitions. Last weekend I had an exhibition, even during this difficult COVID time, on Marbella, but I was in places like no other artist had the possibilities to arrive. And so from Africa to Middle East to Asia, And so I have used as a muse my Lorenzo the Magnificent or Caterina de Medici to tell the story of how France has brought the perfumery and the industry of luxury to the whole world, thanks to my family member like Caterina de Medicis have created what we have today as the famous French cuisine, and even Chanel have inspired herself from Caterina de Medicis. And so they are my muse for bringing message today, and because the world is not really changed so much. We need icon, we need people that can make us follow with the good soul and meanings. And so in this case, my ancestors like Lorenzo the Magnificent or Caterina the Magnificent are really people who were great. I can give you an example. Today, a lot of people try to eat much better, try to eat much healthier, and we know that we need exercise. We know that we need to be careful what we are putting in our stomach because it's affecting our future. And so that was something that Caterina de Medici started in the 1400s. And so when these people visionary understood that we need to create such an important changing for the future, that's why I am sorry, Irina. I have people try to call me all the time, so I'm trying to all the time closing the phone.
Definitely, I have less than you, but I'm very. I'm
so,
happy.
During we are talking, I have people that I'm closing all the time with the finger, and they're continuing to call. They don't know. Conference
people
call.
should know that a lot of people are actually.
Exactly. No, but anyway, so that's why
you made me even happier. No worries. The main thing is the content and the message, the energy that you.
Exactly. So to make short to the story is yes, I use my family as a muse for my art and for my life and for my family venture, trying to copy in a better way what they have done before.
And tell me, please, because I saw in Miami Art Basel, I saw in your incredible family house in fantastic pieces of art. They're quite big. It's very difficult to design them. What was actually the first picture that you did paint? How happened to you this life-changing moment in your life when you really realized that your art started to do that? And is there any piece that you definitely refuse to sell for any price?
Okay, I want to show you one piece. I'm here, and so this is. I will open the light. It just happened that. This is. So this is a piece that I will never sell, and this is Lorenzo the Magnificent. Maddalena, can I show you my better piece?
It's another muse. Oh, Maddalena beauty. Hello. So
he's eating Nutella. Exactly.
Oh my God.
Exactly. So this is Lorenzo the Magnificent, and in this case, there is something very important that says sempre. Sempre means always. Means always faithful to the family, always faithful to the community, and always faithful to anyone. At the same time, there's messages as these three rings that are the three virtues. That means hope, love, and charity. Because we need the hope for the future, we need the love to survive, and we need to give back to the other people that have less. So this was the first time I was analyzing my ancestor, what they have done in their life, and he's Lorenzo the Magnificent, so it's Laurensis and Magnificus. So he was so great that the people have called him Magnificus, which means really the great, because there was nobody else. So the message that comes from that painting was what inspired me. So we have four important messages. One is always, means always faithful to the community, means the country, the families, and at the same time towards anyone that you have close to you. And the other one is the message of hope, love, and charity. So when I started seeing this, I said, look, I have to bring back this message around the world. And the art, the modern art, around the world, there is this new last 10 years where the art is becoming the new place of trending, where the people going to see and learn And so I used my skill as an artist. My mother was a painter to sell a message of positivity, of charity, of love, and of hope. And really, today, these three messages are very important in the moment where we are today with the COVID.
Lorenzo, and what is the most important message while education of your daughter that I think even bigger real use of your heart, as I know, than your ancestors, with all respect to them?
But for sure, I mean, Maddalena have grew up in a different way than all the other kids, because instead of saying, the little kid says always, mio, 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 me, it's all mine, it's all mine. So she's starting understanding that she needs to share. So one of her new fashion things, I was able to transform her to share. So she has pleasure to share everything with other kids. So wherever we go, she brings present to other kids. And if we have something, she say, oh, why we don't share this with other kids? And so, of course, she's very blessed and lucky to have seen the whole world at her age. So she see more than other people. But at the same time, it's important for me to make her understanding that she's in the condition in the future where she can share. And share is more important than just own everything, because you never know in life if you one day you have, one day you don't have. And so maybe if you share today, one day where you will need, somebody else will share back to you.
Thank you so much. Lorenzo, I know that you're sharing your knowledge, your passions all over the world, not only with art, but you're doing a lot of charity, a lot of activities that you are participating in biggest, most famous events all over the world.
Yes.
Are your projects now? And if you could share the thing about banking that is completely opposite for the art, but it's still your family activity that you continue.
Yes. My family was involved in many charity. I'm personally involved. Last year I support the UNFAR in Cannes for the biggest event that they have during the year.
Yeah. You hear fantastic energy.
Yeah, I have donated a beautiful car called Maddi, who is the name of my daughter, Maddalena. It was a Medici prototype that was sold for 110,000 euro that went for charity. And then I support one of the biggest child trafficking, anti-trafficking charity in America. It's a group of fantastic people that goes undercover to try to save all the children that get lost or get stolen around South America and Asia. It's a very big organization, and I will message you the name of the charities later. And there is a movie that it was produced that I think will go out this year, next year, about the story of this American policeman that started this movement of trying to rescue all the kids around the world and using the money of rich people to rescue all the kids. So it's creating a movement of charity where a lot of wealthy people are putting the money to save and all the molested children and give them a new life and not only rescue them but help them growing in a safer environment. So it's a beautiful thing. And then, so the charity is very important. And you asked me about the banking.
About banking.
Yeah, the banking is something still active. I am in the process of creating one of the most fast digital bank in USA. It's called Medici Bank, and it will be an international bank when anyone can open an account digitally in USA, and will be fast, easy, and cheap to manage for the client. And the difference is, instead of thinking about the shareholders, I'm thinking about the customer. So customer first, shareholder second. In general banking, only think about their shareholder, not about the customer. So Medici International Bank will be hopefully the Uber of the bank, let's put it in this way, with with an open source approach where the people can somehow be part of this new movement in banking.
Is it only for American citizens?
No,
or we come
no.
here from France? We can use
Yes, yes. It's an international bank, so there's more than 100 countries that we can open bank account from there. So France is welcome, and many other countries are welcome. So people can go on the website, send you the website, and digitally open an account.
Tell me, please, more about your organization. That is Lorenzo de Medici Society. It's more about knights, if you could share.
Yes, I am the great magister of a knight's order called the Order of San Martino del Monte delle Beatitudini. The headquarters is in Rome, and it's one of the one of the most modern knights order that was created since 1,000 years. In general, the knights order are very, very male influenced. In this case, in my order, there is no difference between men and women. We're all knights, men and women, so that's a very progressive way of thinking. We're open to different religion that wants to somehow come under the same idea of the Catholic Christian religion and the respect of the other people, following the Beatitudes. That's our goal. Means don't be envy and helping. San Martin was a noble, wealthy man that he was himself a soldier, and he met during a cold winter homeless man, and the homeless man asked him help, and he cut his own coat in half. He gave half to this poor, cold, freezing homeless man, and half he kept for him. And that man was transformed himself in Jesus and told him that he needs to enter in the process of bringing the words of Jesus. But the thing is that he kept half for him and he shared half. We all have business, we all have life, but if we do a little bit of our life to be better for the other people, we share a little bit of our time, of our money, of our soul, doesn't matter what, we can make the world better. So the Order of San Martin has this value. It's open to anyone. We have a beautiful church made by Michelangelo in Rome. It's called the Church of San Silvestro al Quirinale. It was made for the Medici family, for the Bandini family in the end of the 1400s, and it's the Church of the President of Italy. So it's a very special, unique headquarters for a knight's order, very modern, where we do so many international activities, from protecting the African church to art exhibition to conference about environment. So we are very modern knight's order.
Thank you so much for sharing, because I know that it's some kind of secret organization and only you can choose the people who could be a part of that.
It's not a secret organization. It's not the correct name. Secret organization is something else. No, we are just selecting or selected organization where we and we have a board. It's not only me. We have a board of 20 people that select the people that can enter. And of course, it's not about money, but it's about behavior of the people in their own environment. So we want people. We have 3 steps. So if somebody wants to enter and doesn't feel that has a lot of time to spend or something, so it's called alfiere. So alfiere is almost like the person who brings the horse. And then before becoming a knight, cavaliere means is the knight who go with the horse. So we have 2 or 3 different steps, and then after 1 or 2 years that they have spent their time, free time to help other people, and then they can become knight. And then we have academic, who means people that are Nobel Prize or intelligent mind, people that can help the environment and the world, and our organization that they become almost a professor of the Knights Order. And so we have different step of people. We have probably now 200 knights around the world, from USA, Venezuela, Ukraine, many other places around the world, and Switzerland, Thailand. And so we are very, very international Knights Order.
Lorenzo, I know that you are presenting your art all over the world in different Basels, in different spots, and in Venice Biennale as well. Tell me, please, now, while COVID, how this virus did influence the modern art, and not only yours, but generally the market, actually, and how people still can be attached to the art and develop their skills, their passions about the art when they are confined to their homes?
It's a very interesting question. I probably don't have the right answer yet, because it's changing every day. I can tell you that probably people are looking for art that is more furniture art. So I have a lot of requirements from furniture, piece of art, people that are home a lot of time during this period that were never before at home. So they may want to have a special table designed by me, or something related to a sofa, more than just the traditional paintings. They want their dog bed to be an art piece, because they're spending much more time at home, and so now who has the money to afford to buy. At the same time, I'm lucky because it's starting the 1st of July, the 1st of August. There's an opening of an exhibition of mine in Marbella, in Port Banús. So any one of your guests, the 1st of August, Port Banús, there is an opening of an art gallery. Eventually in the name, and with my art, and I'm lucky because they're representing Dali, Picasso during the same exhibition. Dali, Picasso, and my name is with 6 or 7 of the top international artists, and so it will be staying for 1 month in Marbella in Spain. And so Spain is in this moment one of the most opening place around Europe for tourism with the COVID. And so I'm lucky to be present there. I have 4 of my paintings. 3 are spiritual paintings, and I made them in Thailand last year when I was there in November. And so they are very unique, and they have a spirituality inside of the painting.
But it's incredible. Actually, it was my next question, what project you are working on now, but you already responded, and all congratulations. But share with me, please, who is your favorite artist?
Speaking about Dali, was one of my favorite artists for the personality, for the art. I like Van Gogh from the past. And I like a lot of Japanese and Asian artists, modern artists that I think they are interesting. And then I had an Italian master when I was young. His name was Mimmo Rotella. Mimmo Rotella was the inventor of the collage art, and he was he was born in the same hospital in the same city in Catanzaro in Calabria, where I was born. He was a friend of my family, so he was kind of my master, and so he was the first pop art. At the same time of when the pop artists, the famous international pop artists, Andy Warhol, all of them, there was an Italian one called Mimmo Rotella, and he was one of my masters. So I learned a lot of technique from him, and so he was one of my favorites.
Lorenzo, I know that your father, who unfortunately passed away, was a great architect, very well known in Calabria, in south of France. Tell me, please, how the mentality of this region influenced you, and actually, do you think that figures that you are creating now, because I know that in LA you presented huge, incredible figures, very special one, not for everybody to be chosen, actually. And do you think this architecture education, maybe passion of your father, somehow influenced you, that now not only paintings is a part of your modern art, but like these figures is your signature art as well?
Yes, my father was not an architect, but he was an engineer. But at that time, architect and engineer, they were very similar. There was not really the difference as today we have. So the engineer was more like an architect, so you were not so wrong. But he has worked from Australia. He was doing the subway of Melbourne. He was an international engineer. So he created a lot of hospitals and port and infrastructure in the south of Italy. And he was involved a lot in tourism business, building hotels, luxuries. So for sure, I mean, the engineering side of my father, it was something to see that more for me was more when you start something, you have to end what you're starting. So it was more about mentality than really. I'm more similar to my mother, who is the artist of the family. My mother was a painter, so I'm more the artist side of my family. But from him, I learned that if you're starting from a project and then you have to build a house or a hospital or a port, it's taking a lot of effort, but you can still build something big and something that will stay for 50, 100 years at least.
What was your kids'
And answering to your big, yes, I have done collection of big sculpture. I have done a beautiful big gorilla who is now in Dallas, Texas, in the house of Trammell Crow, who is one of the Crow family. It's one of the largest family in the real estate in the United States of America, and it's 6 foot tall and is made with construction rebar. And it took me 3 years to build it, but it's a beautiful piece of art and has inside with real gold 24K. So I do monumental artwork too for special clients.
That's incredible how your art developed in very different channels, I could say. Tell me, please, what was your kid's dream, and do you think you have already realized it or not yet?
That's a good point. I think I have realized majority of my dream. I'm a lucky one because I have seen the world in many places, and I had no barrier. There was no limit at that time. And so from Africa, I lived in Africa, I lived in Argentina, I lived in Russia, and I speak 5 languages, and I lived in Middle East. And so I was lucky enough to enjoy and discover the whole world. I love motorcycles. I go off-road with motorcycles in safaris. So I have done a beautiful life. And of course, now having a daughter, Maddalena, it's one of the central point of my new life. So I'm spending a lot of time to teach her my passion, pass her my passion, spending time with her and seeing the world in a different way than before, of course.
I know that traveling, it's true, it was one of your biggest passions, because actually it's my first time that I meet you online, but because usually I were your follower of your art, admire as well during ages. And I'm happy that we have this. COVID taught us something, that we have this experience. And yes, tell me please, is there still any place on the world that you would love to show to Maddalena? Because you used to live in very different places. Actually, LA was your dream town, dream city for a lot of times. And now you live there because you're not only based in your motherland, but as well in USA.
Yes.
So, do you have some place that you still want to see and one of your biggest passion that is traveling want to share with your daughter?
Yes. Just give me 1 second only because...
No worry.
I have
an avatar that I'm very happy to look at it as well. And I'm sure that everybody who is watching...
Yeah, no, they're calling me important work. So I'm writing that I'm calling them in 5 minutes. Okay, so I think I'm back with you. Okay. Yes, I'm based in Italy, in Rome, and in the south of Italy, and I'm based in California, in Los Angeles. And so I'm spending time between the two places. Of course, now with the COVID, the situation in California is unfortunately not the best. So I'm spending almost 1 month in California, 1 month in Italy. And so we all hope that the situation will be better and that we can all restart a normal life soon.
Tell me, please, wasn't it a reason actually to change your life because you were very attached with television? Now you are still as well, but in a different manner. But I know that you were not only an artist, but you were a TV star. And you saw a lot of people from Hollywood, stars from Hollywood. And now maybe they are your clients, not only your friends as it was before.
Yes, of course, when you live in Los Angeles, you always work at the end with TV. You always have partnership with TV. You always do reality show. I'm working on a cooking show based on a cooking book that I wrote. We're thinking about publishing this beautiful book, but because of the COVID now, everything is stopped, and so we're all in a hold. So my new goal is more to eventually create something with the art. I'm having a fantastic friend of mine who is a very famous artist in Australia, and he has one of the biggest art show around the world, and so he wants me to host one of the episodes of his art show in Italy. It's a show where you go with a motorcycle and interview all the biggest and famous artists that they show their art of each country. So he wants me to be the host of the Italian season of this big show. So there's always TV, of course, involved in my life, with a vehicle of showing my art and showing my personality and sharing with other people. I am not very social. I will be soon social because it's arriving the time for me to be more social, like the social internet way, but for now I'm still traditional, so I still use the TV and other people to be present.
Lorenzo, I'm observing you lots of years. I admire you, and I think that your key to success was to be natural, to be going flow, and being a strong man, being a bright personality. You still keep in yourself that dreamer, that you never stop. You're a dreamer and you act at the same time. You keep your internal child that is very creative, that is very strong, I could say, and your actions, they're very action of an adult man and strong personality. But if you could speak of yourself, how you could share, what do you think is your key to success?
I think is to be myself and to be always myself and be humble and working hard. I think that's the three characteristic. And maybe having a little bit of craziness in life that helps a little bit, because if not, let's say that the life will be probably a little bit boring. So I think controlling all those things together, it's making myself different. I grew up in Africa. I spent the time working for an NGO at the age of 18, 19 in the middle of Africa. So probably I'm becoming the wild prince that instead of being, the elegant formal prince. So in that case, the fact of spending time with the nature and the people of the essence have helped me to be more funny, wild, intelligent, hopefully intelligent prince.
You are.
Thank you.
Definitely. And
I have 2 minutes more because I have so many people for work that are waiting for me.
So much. The last thing I would love to ask you, for you realized a lot of passions in your life. What could you recommend to people who are watching us now? What is your main message after COVID and with all your life-changing experience? Tell me, please, a few words.
I think that they need to think that COVID is a serious thing. So I ask anyone to be intelligent, and because we are still in war, and this war is not finished. Not in my region, there's 0 cases, but that doesn't mean that we need to be all together So we need still to be protected and be careful, because it's not only taking old people, it's taking young people too. And so I think the first thing is to be careful. Second thing is to just trying to use the, like, you can go really online today and see almost all the museum that before was impossible to see it by the internet, because all the museums have opened their database, digitalized. So really there is opportunity to travel around the world much more today from an internet, from a screen, than before. So I think use this time to go and see whatever is your passion, fashion or art, music, because today we are all the database are much opening. And the third thing is to anyway plan your future, independent of what's happening now, but have a goal in your future. That's important.
Thank you so much, Lorenzo,
Thank
for
you.
your time, and you all your dreams come
Thank you.
to an end.
And to you too. Complimenti.
Yeah.
Complimenti. Brava.
So after this incredible talk, I don't know really what to add, because that is a man's power. That is the power of art. Find creator in yourself. Find your true energy that will bring you to the top of the tops of your life, and bring light not only to you, but to the other people as well. And be Chile, Irene Lentiggini.